Nuovarden is a dimension of wide-open mystery and infinite discovery created by our very own DungeonMisterTy and published by Adventure Slang Productions. You can learn all about this dynamic game system and wondrous setting at adventureslang.com.
The moment begins with an attack by two large fire elementals ambushing from a pool of lava. Even as a long skirmish raged on, a sudden manifesting event made things worse when a fate worm was summoned into the fray. The worm attacked immediately, spewing its manifesting breath over Fellavaai, Vajrahan, and Zorik. Fellavaai and Vajrahan fell, and Zorik was then clutched by the attacking worm in its claws. Kava held off the elementals, but Zorik fell unconscious from a follow-up attack by the worm before the summoning manifestation ended, and Zorik's form fell lifelessly to the ground. An initial round of dying rolls all resulted in critical failures, and it began to look like the party could be lost. However, Kava swung true and cut down one of the two elementals, opening a path for Emerald to rush to his allies and offer healing aid. One by one, the companions were restored, and meanwhile Kava fought on, staving off the final Colossus while her allies rejoined the fray. With Zorik moving to her side, the Lamplack warrior again cleaved death into the burning elemental form and cut the enemy down. Weary and injured, the allies healed each other and restored themselves the best they could. But even as they prepared to journey on, another shuddering sensation of an approaching Colossus shook the ground. Hastily, the group attempted to hide themselves beneath a manifested shield, but just as suddenly, their great colossal ally Lutu appeared. Excited by the return of their immense friend, they learned that Lutu had assembled a team of other colossi, but needed the allies to infiltrate the citadel. The group made a plan, and in the midst of planning, Zorik's grandfather, Aeos Asuri, appeared again to offer counsel. "Seek the void," he said, "and when the time is right, let us through." Lutu advised the allies to press on, and in time the elemental would send help. Lutu then left again, and the party contemplated their next steps. Not far beyond the fiery lake, they crested a ridge, and there in the great distance stood the rounded dome of the citadel. Fellavaai scried on Isha, and discovered the Ixia betrayer holed up with an immense colossus. A brief conversation revealed Isha advising a disagreeable authority where it bellowed out of sight of what Fellavaai could see. Certain plans were revealed, and thus informed the group pressed farther on. And ambushed by the harvester captain Corinth, the canine Kakuts forced the allies through a second struggle, and one in which they again prevailed. Dispatching nearly half a dozen stone elementals and the powerful harvester captain. Thus successful, the scene faded. And it is here we return to the site of victory, with Kava in the form of a lace-winged worm, Embrel, Vajrahan, and Fellavaai taking stock of the fallen, and Zorik, his hand still clutching the strange black leather lifted from the body of the fallen Corinth. An ominous warm breeze stirs across the dim stony landscape, and the volcano, towering above the primordial wound, rumbles and spews ash more than 1,000 breaths distance from where the party has already traveled. Players, as you catch your breath, what do you do?
This armor, I'll just throw it down on the ground. I don't know what this is, or if it's power or something we can harness. Can you tell?
Vajrahan comes walking over gently. Corinth, it's terrible what has become of you, that you would accept such a fate as this. Vajrahan then turns his attention to the armor. Let me see, Zorik, if I can't glean its principles. And I will go ahead and make, this is 2 dice, right? Lore check? Called roll?
This would be a called roll, yeah.
Okay. That is a double 4.
Well,
wow.
This is a no object, I assume?
Correct, yeah.
Let me just give you the description. I'll give the description to everyone since that was super successful. This item is known as the Cuirass of Shadow Meld. It allows the wearer to blend into shadow once per phase as a spend option. While phased, the wearer makes body attacks at increased difficulty scale. Physical attacks against a phased target are made at increased difficulty scale, obscured, and do half damage. Treat as a manifestation. However, light attacks against a phased target are made at decreased difficulty scale and do +2 damage. And I will put that in the chatter for your review.
Vajvahan, of course, conveys this information to Zorik. Zorik, this armor harnesses the power of shadow to great effect, dulling most physical attacks. Although light, the element of light, is extremely effective while in this form.
This looks powerful enough. Perhaps Fellavaai, you should see if you can control its power. It seems as though this is in your realm of knowledge.
Fellavaai steps forward. I was going to say, shadow is not to be misunderstood. I will wear it if you'll have it, if you'll let me. Perhaps I'll know more about it once I do.
I think this is good counsel.
Yes, I could imagine no one else. Fellavaai, you know the shadows well.
Kava, Vajvahan, this is your companion, the one that we have put down. I'm sorry that it came to this. I can't imagine how difficult this must be for you.
He seemed an agreeable man when I met him. But to be honest, I have only been with the Harvesters for a short period of time. It is strange to me that he would fall so quickly by the corrupting force of the Colossi. But perhaps, Kava, did you know him any better?
I would ask the seer, do you feel like I had a closer relationship to this individual before he passed?
Probably so. I would say follow your intuition on how well you felt that you knew Corinth, or what your reflections are at this point. You've probably been with the Harvesters for a while, longer than Vajvahan.
To Vajvahan and Zorik, Kava would say, I definitely feel as if this individual was not himself. He was afflicted with something of the mind, or maybe something else. There's nothing on his person that like another necklace or a ring or anything like that that we can see.
He did have his sword.
Just the sword, that's it?
Yes.
Okay. So then, yeah, above table, that's the only thing I can think of is it's something to do with the mind.
This was the sword he had, though, even back when he was captain of the Harvesters, or is this a strange new sort of item for him?
No, it's a sword he's always carried, and the thing about it is it is an extremely elegant sword, and it is a pre-emergence land plaque design.
Whoa.
Vajvahan takes note of that, and he will timidly and gently lift up the blade kind of before him, and I will go ahead and use my Selku delving capability to look back into the pre-emergence to see from whence this blade came.
Perfect. I will also remind you that your natural double force is a natural high success, and that allows you recovery as well on a manifestation.
Oh. Excellent. Then in typical fashion, I will go ahead and gain 1 armor factor because I certainly need it. All right. And then I will go ahead and I believe I make this at decreased value, reading the Selku, correct?
Decreased difficulty, that's correct. For the audience's edification, that is oracular recall. And it allows you as a Selku to look back into pre-emergence history with decreased difficulty, as long as you don't move while you're doing it.
That is a 2-4. So I adjust my spectacles up to the second eyes and begin to mutter to myself and kind of sit down cross-legged, holding the blade out in front of me, and my second eye's open.
You can almost envision this weapon being created. You do not know the family that made it. That's not clear in your recall. However, the item itself was so well made and so well balanced that not only does it do the +1 damage, it also reduces the difficulty scale when it's used for striking.
This sword, so it was forged before the sky crystal had shattered.
Yes, it was forged by the technologists of the land plaque prior to the emergence, prior to the sky crystal cracking, before the Starnum even arrived.
Even before I open my second eye, sorry, my first eyes are open. Even before I open my second eyes, I kind of mumble, "Kava, I hear the hammering of this blade. It is ancient. It is masterwork. I do not see the family, but the skill and craftsmanship forged into it is unparalleled. It is a relic." And slowly, I kind of like offer it up towards Kava as my first eyes close and my second begin to open.
In almost like a sense of reverence, she'll take it lightly from your hands, but in doing so, she'll also remove the blade from her side and kind of like comparing the two to each other. Like, Ty, is this much better than mine?
To the degree that it allows you to make your strikes at a decreased difficulty, yes, it's lighter, it's well balanced, the blade is sharp, and it's entirely naturally designed. There's not manifested effect in here. This is just design. It has a polished handle of bluish bone, and then it is set, the pommel and the metalwork, the cross piece and everything is, and through the blade, but there are different pieces, is bronze. And and it's in very good shape as well.
Above table, Zorik, what kind of weapon do you use?
I don't really use weapons. I don't think I have. I don't even think I have a weapon. I don't have a weapon.
Are you able to use weapons?
Sure. I could try.
You want a sword?
I want to. Yes, I do. I would try to use the sword. I may need training from you, Kava, but I would be honored to wield it.
I am not much of a teacher, but I will do my best.
Importantly, Kava, I did not see any corruption around this blade. I don't know the harvest as well, but perhaps it was simple greed or a promise of greatness that swayed the captain by the Colossi, the king of this realm.
That's a possibility.
I do faintly recall them saying something to that effect before we were forced to fight. It must be a very powerful influence that this overlord has. I would caution us all to have clear minds as we enter this place, and to be diligent about those that might seek to pry within.
Indeed. We are talking about a being who has mastered the elements. A colossi, not like we've encountered, bound to a single element, but one who has mastered all, possibly 5.
Is there some sort of burial ritual that would be appropriate for your former companion? Before we move on, I feel as though it would be a dishonor to just leave them here exposed.
I mean, no disrespect to this individual, but I don't know if we have the time.
We do have flame, and flame is a quick fix to these sorts of things. Vajvahan, do you think that would be appropriate in this instance?
Fire burial. Would I know with the... remind me his race?
Kakoots.
Kakoots. Would burning ritual be appropriate?
You would have to make a lore knowledge. Lore check. I will also ask, Kava, did you give that sword to Zorik, or did you exchange with the sword you carry?
Oh, very good question. I gave him one less difficulty to hit.
So the new one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Zorik, you have the fancy one.
Damn.
That's a 1-4.
All right. You didn't know Sif.
I did not.
So you do know that the Kakoots will oftentimes, when they are at the end of their seasons, will wander off and go into the wilderness to move to the next realm beyond. The Kakoots see life and death as just a circle, and that once the Kakoots dies, they've completed the circle, and they don't overemphasize it a whole lot.
In truth, I think perhaps his passing in combat is actually how he would have wished to go according to their tradition. Need no burial, no ritual, just natural. His body left to return to the elements from which it came.
Yes. Typically, they will carry it one darkening distance away. They'll carry the remains to a special place that is regarded as where they go. Here in Umalt, according to their tradition, you don't see any need to do anything in particular in regard to respect for their culture.
Emperor, we draw near to the citadel, and there are passages underneath, you said.
I believe so, yes. It has been referred to by Amish as like a tooth in the ground. And that is how I took his words.
Then perhaps... Vajrahan looks at Zorik and Kava. Perhaps we look for one of these veins that might lead us beneath.
Agreed.
Above table, Seer, is there a manifestation that is linked to like pathfinding, to like knowing the physical world or tracking, sort of looking for those sort of things?
There could be, however, it's restricted by your distance or your range.
Ah, okay.
So at the distance that you are right now, you would need to get closer if you're trying to suss out entry points from the base.
Okay. Then let us tarry quickly. The closer we get, the more dangers certainly will come our way.
Agreed. I feel exposed out here like this. We've seen so much violence this past day. I hope we can make it to the cover of night without more.
Fellavaai finishes fitting the armor, and it looks really cool on Fellavaai. Black armor that's very snug fitting, and Fellavaai doesn't make a big to do about it, but it does look very flattering. Embrol nods and begins to lead you farther on. So in time, you press toward the citadel, bit by bit, as you scramble across the open landscape. The great helm increases in size against the horizon. Soon you realize that numerous elementals roam about the perimeter of the citadel, and some figures fly above, perhaps as observers for approaching threats. Little about the landscape between you and the citadel offers cover. However, a low ridge, like the spikes of some dormant beast, rises perhaps 2/3 of the way across. "We should try for that ridge," says Embrol.
Embrol, what are the chances it's another echo beast?
The ridge? The chances are reasonable. Can any of you tell before we get too close?
I can try, I suppose. I pull out my nav lens, and looking through it, I will go ahead and try and know object the ridge. Or
so I will
identify object.
You bring out the nav lens, and you realize it's really useless here because there's no sky crystal to navigate by, which it is dependent on. However, you do see the ridge, so you may assess it from where you're at.
Yes. I squint my eyes. I open up my second pair of eyes too, all four, kind of squinting. That's a 3-2. I'll use a primacy to bump that to a 4-2.
Okay. Despite the fact that it does look like those could be the ridge, the back ridge of some creature, it is a natural landscape formation.
Well, it's not an echo beast. That's good. The last one gave us a real... built up a sweat on that one.
It came out of nowhere.
There are plenty of things to be wary of. Let me see if I can provide us with some camouflage for our journey across this open land. I'm going to start a low chant, very soft, but I'm going to try to affect the sound waves around us over the top of us to give us that shimmering sort of,
blur effect.
Yeah, Oasis kind of effect, you know, that when you're looking in the distance, you can see the... Yeah, I'm going to try that with the... 4 and a 1. I'll take it.
All right. So it's big. You do generate enough to cover some of you.
It's a 12 by 12 area, I believe. 12.
Oh, right. Yeah, you could travel side by side. So, yeah. All right, so you all huddle together, stay within proximity, and move beneath this shimmering. So what that means, Zorik, is that you are committing 1 die to maintaining it and 1 to moving it.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
And so you shuffle forward towards the citadel. As you move towards the citadel, the ground trembles, then rumbles, and the stony earth opens in a cascade of dirt and rock debris. A tunnel appears, and in the mouth of the tunnel, a lone brown and granite colossus peers back. The colossus climbs from the tunnel and rises above you nearly as tall as Lutu themselves, and looks around as if expecting you.
This is going to sound weird, but do we recognize this Colossus?
You do not recognize this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it
this a
see us,
century of
Zorik?
I can't tell. I'm going to try to ascertain whether or not it sees us.
No, it does not seem to. It seems to have expected you to be there, but it doesn't appear to have pinpointed your location.
I sense that perhaps this is a good sign. It seems as though this Colossus is expecting us.
But perhaps we do not drop the guys. If you're wanting, perhaps I or Kava can step out from it and see what the true intent of this creature is.
That is a very good idea, Vajvahan, but it does put you at some risk. I do have, if we are close enough to it, the ability to speak within its mind to perhaps ascertain its motives.
And still maintain this illusion, Zorik.
It will strain my manifestation energy, but I will give it a try. If it is to avoid putting you or Kava in danger.
Okay. Tell me what I can do to help. I will assist where I can.
Very well. We must get just a bit closer, and then we can stop, and I may be able to focus more of my energy on this feat.
All right. You shuffle a little bit closer, and you do have a range of 128 feet for a manifestation as it is.
Okay, great.
So you don't have to get too much closer. You are, however, so you have to take just a moment because you used your spends to not only maintain but to move it. You will now commit your dice for one action to do telepathy.
Yep. So I'm able to, now that we're not moving, I have I have a dice pool of 2 dice right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'm going to use telepathy first to try to catch what they're thinking right now.
Okay.
And try to gather what their motive might be. Are they looking for us because they're worried that there's going to be an attack on the Citadel, or are they perhaps an ally of Lutu and therefore an ally of us?
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and make your attempt.
2, 3, I will use primacy to go 4.
All right. I get a challenge. That is a 1. So you prod in, and in the mind, there is some confusion, and the figure's thinking, perhaps Lutu was mistaken. I shall return and tell him.
Before that happens, I'm going to try to speak into his mind. No, Lutu was not mistaken. Don't leave.
All right. We'll assume that you have established the connection, and the figure looks around and turns behind to look down the tunnel, and then out loud says, I am Toru. Lutu has sent me to open the way for you below the Citadel. And Toru motions to the tunnel. I do not see you and did not hear you, but I will leave you here and rejoin Lutu and those like Lutu the same. And without ceremony, the Colossus turns and strides away with no heed to any of your questions. And Emerald says, it seems we have been afforded the aid we need in our time.
Indeed we have. This bodes well. I'll continue to move I'll rededicate my second of my dice pool to move the camouflage along with us to the entrance to this cave.
Sort of Monty Python style, you all shuffle forward towards the entrance to the tunnel, which is quite substantial given the size of the Colossus that opened it. And there is before you a new entryway below the surface towards the Citadel, it seems.
I was going to say, once we're sort of out of sight, I'm going to drop the camouflage and just look at my companions. This is where we enter one of the most dangerous places that we have yet. I just want to say, if anything happens here, if something happens to me, I appreciate you very much. You are honorable and brave. And even though you didn't know of our quest when we met you, you were quick to join. You were quick to lend your skills and your energy to something good.
Emerald says, for 2 phases and more, we have traveled this distance. I am impressed with your fortitude to have joined together so courageously. And it has been my honor as well to grow alongside you. In fact, I feel myself gaining in experience and power merely by accompanying you as I have.
Emerald, do you intend to continue with us into the heart of this stronghold?
I wouldn't miss it, my friend. I am curious to see what is beyond those walls. These great colossi of all of these many seasons that have been in conflict with the Umbral, and few have been within the walls, and to our knowledge, none have ever returned. I wish to be the first.
Yes, Umbral. When you return, and you will, no doubt. You must instruct that craftsman to update his little model in the store with all your knowledge.
It will be a shared project at this point, because I, Emerald, will remember the details that will go into the model, and then Amush and I will have such stories to weave about the great goings-on inside that torrential place.
Let us be under no misconception here. We intend to overthrow a colossus of immense power. Things will change after we enter this tunnel. Greatly.
Fellavaai says,
They always do.
I would not have it any other way. The great sacrifice that my people made would only be something, at worst, for me to fulfill on my behalf and to do my part. And should we prevail and all survive, I would consider that equally part of my fate.
I agree. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down together. And hopefully we can take this big bastard with us.
Yes. The big bastard.
Vajrahan will, for the first time, take out his actual staff. And I'm going to attempt to manifest the element of light at its top as we enter these dark tunnels. A 3-2, I will go ahead and use the primacy to bump that to a 4-2 and ignite a light at the top of the staff. Yes, let us tarry forth towards the change that is true of both Nephis and Aeos as well. All things change.
Zorik is going to draw the sword that Kava gave him and sort of hold it defiantly in front of him and look over at Kava and just sort of nod. And Kava, you look over at him as he's holding it and it's just shaking in his hand. Like the sword is just shaking.
We talked about like teaching, but this is more of like a moment like you're doing well. Kava will walk up to you in like nice posture, just kind of like in the movies where you see them like fix the blade and just kind of raise your arms a little better and then pats you like a little bit on the back to get you to straighten up. Just there you go. You got this.
Thank you. Thank you, Kava.
All right. For the first time in more than a phase, you descend below the surface of Umult. The natural tunnel smells of earth and stone, and you are uncertain in places whether the ceiling will hold some 12 shins overhead. But the tunnels offer cover from the searching elementals above, and as you pick your way over the rubble, you are comforted by the enclosed space in which you find yourselves. And Vajrahan, I'll have you double check the light rules so you can tell what your distances are for visibility. You would have a standard sort of light source for that.
Is that under manifestations? Or is that
No.
under... No, okay.
It's under just under visibility for light.
Ty, would it be possible to use the manifestation of a song to do some sort of almost like a sonar ability to detect something that might be moving ahead of us at a certain distance?
I think similar to the way that you and Kava have used song to kind of line the energy, in sort of I can't think of how to describe the visibility, but it's like a sonar line that would go over. Yeah, basically would be something like that. I would say so. Vajran, check page 19 if you would.
Thank you. Yeah, I was all over. I was way off. Visibility. Okay.
If you wish to try that, Zorik.
Okay, I will give it a shot. A 3 on one of the dice. I'll bump it to a 4.
Okay. So how far ahead do you want to do this? I guess beyond the light, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a visibility of 32 feet clearly and then 16 feet beyond that, but it's a bit more hard to make out. It's more like half light.
And then I have 128 feet, did you say?
128 feet reach. A 12-foot area that you can actually affect.
Okay, so I'll just sort of have it out at that maybe 60. Well, no, let's do it in let's do like a what did you say the distance of the light was?
32 feet and then an additional 16 kind of at like dimmer light. So it's
Okay,
like
that's
48.
48. Okay.
Yeah, 16 of it in increased difficulty to observe.
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go out to like 80 feet. And I'll just have that 12 by 12 foot sort of detection zone sort of just moving with us as we're walking and just sort of like back and forth if I can.
Yeah, you can. You'll commit your both actions to move and keep it maintained. Okay. So you're sort of scanning. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a span of darkness between the 48-foot point and the 80-foot point of 32 feet. But as you're moving it about and so on, you don't immediately see anything. You detect no motion in the darkness.
Then we should press on.
Moving through the tunnel is slow going. Bits of ceiling periodically rain down in dusty streams of chipped rock, and the walls rumble as the ground shifts. Suddenly, a chunk of stone falls from above. And I need, let's see, Embral would be probably forward most. And it would be either Vajrahan or Fellavaai, I imagine, at the rear. So I need to know...
I would not be at the rear because I'm with the light source, so I'd probably be somewhere closer to the front.
Middle.
Leading the way with the light, or middle, yeah.
Okay. So, Zork, I'll ask you, would you be... Well, you've got the manifestation, so you'd probably be more towards the front as well, because you're pushing it out there.
Yeah. I'm probably standing next, shoulder to shoulder with Vajrahan, something like that.
Okay. And Kava, would you be in the rear guard, or would you be just ahead of Fellavaai, you think?
I think I'd take up the rear.
Okay. So then I need Fellavaai, Zorik, and Vajrahan to please make
Oh, no, wait. Aldous.
challenge roll body.
Okay.
So it's a single
Would
die.
I be able? This is a chunk of earth falling. Could I use element in response to an elemental earth boulder falling?
So this is sort of a trap effect.
Okay,
So
sounds
you
good.
are just making a challenge roll to avoid being hit.
And this is 1 dice, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And it's the body applies.
Okay, I just got a 3.
Okay. I do believe you have key points. I think I awarded at least 1 key point last session.
You did, but you used it in the last fight, so I'm at 0.
Yep.
I have robbed you of your key point.
That's okay.
Fellavaai got a 4. Fellavaai succeeded. Zorik, what'd you
I
get?
have a 4 as well.
You and Fellavaai dodge out of the way. Vajrahan, unfortunately, you do not quite scramble out of the way as you are hit for 3 injuries and are crushed as this thing pins you underneath it.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Zorik and Fellavaai, you each take 1 injury, but you are not crushed.
Again, good thing in my double force that I got an extra armor factor. I told you that'd come in handy. As Vajrahan gets crushed under a rock, his staff kind of tattering about onto the floor.
I'm going to drop my manifestation, and I'm going to try to... Is this a huge rock on top of him right now?
Yeah, it's a big chunk of the ceiling fell on all of you, really, and you and Fellavaai were caught in the after effect, but Vajrahan, it landed square on him.
Quickly, we must free Vajrahan. I'm going to try and, as my companions sort of come up to try to do whatever they're going to do, I'm going to try to make their job easier by using psychokinesis to try to levitate or to move the rock up as best I can, and maybe that will make it easier for if, my companions are trying to push it or lift it off of him or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So collectively, you all go in there, and Zork will let you make the roll to attempt this effort to free Vajrahan.
Oh, that's a 2 and a 1.
Ouch.
I know Vajrahan is crushed, but can I assist with elemental?
Essentially, it's all effort is 1 attempt.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So Zork, that
sorry.
is a high failure. Do you want to do anything about it?
Yeah, I'll bump it to a double 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you can bump that for recovery. However, Vajrahan, as this rock is crushing you, you suffer another injury as you're having a hard time breathing, and you can feel this thing crunching you down. Let's see. Yeah, so now you can make another attempt as everyone is scrambling, trying to move this stone. I don't know if Fellavaai has anything that...
Too heavy. Kava, can you do something?
To enhance body to try and lift this?
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead and enhance body to try and help.
That's a 4 and a 1.
Okay, it's all right. So you increase your strength as you all try to move the stone, and it shifts. And Vajrahan, it hurts when it kind of grinds against you, but they lift it enough for you to scramble out from underneath.
Vajrahan meekly scrambles out. Oh my!
Zork will grab him and help him to his feet. Are you okay?
He picks up his stick and wearily, and is like, I am. It's almost as bad as being ejected by the water elemental.
Let me see if I can mend these wounds of yours. I'm gonna try to do a song of healing.
I know. How is everyone doing, by the way, since that last fight? Because there has been no healing on that.
Poorly.
We may want to take a moment to address that as well.
Yeah, very poorly. I'll do a song of healing, and I think I can affect an area.
That's
so I'm going to
correct,
try to affect everybody if I can. Come close, get close.
Am I able to join in and actually harmonize with my own song of healing?
So if you want to join in, you could assist. Sorry, not assist. You could actually attempt to reduce the difficulty of Zorik's, or you could do your own. So
What would you prefer, Zorik?
I'm going to let you decide because I already rolled and I already know what the result is, but I'm not going to say it until you decide what you want to do.
Okay, I will go ahead and do my own.
Okay. All right. So what'd you do, Zorik?
Decision, Zorik?
I'm going to bump mine to a 4 so that I can do
Dang
some
it.
healing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Go ahead and determine the result
Okay.
of that healing.
4. All right.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
So Vajran, up to your maximum out of 4 restored.
We all get 4 back. Is that correct, Ty?
Everyone that
Yep.
needs it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's great.
Would you like to join in song as well, Kava? I'm sure it
Yeah,
would
still
be helpful.
above table. I'm still a little squishy, but yes, definitely harmonizing with my homie.
Me.
We're doing harmonizing time. Ooh, that's double 3s. You can only spend 1 primacy, correct? You can't. I can't.
Yeah, you can only spend 1 to change 1 die.
Okay.
Or you can spend 2 to re-roll 1, or you can spend 4 to re-roll both.
Nah, just spend 1 to make 1 of 4.
Okay. So roll. You may heal another d4 in the area.
Come on.
And that is 2.
All right. So anyone who needs it gains
Yes,
2.
yes.
Fellavaai says, "Is everyone completely restored?"
It's like the rock never fell at all.
Zorik.
I am nearly healed back to my former self, but I do feel exhausted mentally from our encounters along the way. My energy has been depleted quite significantly.
And Kava?
I feel like I could keep going, but if it means that everybody else gets a rest, then I don't mind at all.
I'm not sure, Umbral. You could correct me if I'm wrong. It might be a fairly dangerous place. The structure of this cavern is not sound.
You're not wrong, Vajrahan. However, there are dangers above and below. So, there is no ideal rest between now and the Citadel.
Then, might I suggest, the lot of you rest. My energies are deep. I will keep the structure sound, so the rest of you may recover.
Can we take a repose here? Do we have that luxury in this place?
It's hard to know.
The tunnel is new, if it is true what Turu said. It is going to be unstable. It may have opened ingress by creatures that live below, but as I said, it is no better above, and there is no known place of sanctuary between here and the Citadel as it stands.
Perhaps Fellavaai can provide us with some protective shadows to hide us, to conceal our presence if we stay here quietly for just long enough to regain a bit of our energies.
Is Fellavaai full, or, more refreshed? Has Fellavaai above table, has she used her recovery, primacy recovery?
I think she did last session, and I only saying that because I have a feeling I reminded you, and that's the only reason why I'm like, I think she did.
I actually don't know, and I don't have Fellavaai's full stats.
I used mine, so I don't know what that means for her.
Yeah.
I have an idea. We will rest. I am going to try and form, because I can do a 12 by 12 area, correct?
Mm-hmm. At least.
I'm going to try.
High success would be 20.
sculpt a rock encasing around us? Because it stays static once I create it, right?
As long as you maintain it.
Yep. Okay. And I would then try to maintain. So I'm going to try and create a 12 by 12 rock so we kind of camouflage naturally into the cavern, and I can kind of hold it and reinforce it. I would not rest during this repose, but I'm also just basically made of primacy and nothing of my body. So I feel like I could probably tarry on without a rest, and it would allow my allies to then rest.
So long as you know that you can fatigue.
Is it even possible to get to have a repose outside of a phase?
Well, it wouldn't be outside of a phase. It would be within the phase of the 24,000 total breaths.
Okay. We just wouldn't be able to have a second repose within that 24,000 breaths. Is that
Right.
correct? And
Correct.
it doesn't rely on the sky crystal or a nighttime cycle. It's just within that time period.
Yes, you had a
Okay.
repose in before you went to Usut when you first met the Umbral, and you had a repose at the oasis of the Fierlinair. So this would be your third repose, all within Umalt.
Okay.
Should we perhaps push in a little bit further? See if we can't find a place that would make a more natural, protective space. It might mean we encounter something, but if you think we could succeed, then perhaps that is the better option.
I will defer to your wisdom, Vajvahan.
Kava, you said you still have a little kick left in you.
If you prefer me to stand watch, I can try.
No, rather if we push on and perhaps encounter something along the way.
I have an odd offer. I'm not quite sure how comfortable a piggyback ride would be, but if somebody would want to try and get some sleep while I carry them.
You would also be subject to fatigue, though, if you don't repose.
Subject to fatigue, it's like you're saying there's a chance, or no, I will be.
You would be, because if you don't sleep, if you don't rest, you also don't restore your energies.
Chicken nuggets.
And what does fatigue do?
There are 4 phases of fatigue. The first one is hobbled. The second is afflicted. No, I'm sorry. The first one is slowed. The second is hobbled. The third is afflicted. And the fourth is death.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's like
That
really
escalated.
fatigued.
That escalated so hard. And death.
And so that and that fatigue, that's like an unmovable sort of effect until you rest.
Yeah.
So I could stay and maintain our cover and protection, though I would be a bit of a burden to you, tired as I might be. But Kava is also quite good at hefting people. She's carried me more than once.
Can confirm.
I think this is the best option. You must rest. We must be at strength, as you said, Zorik. We do not know, and it only gets harder from here. And if all of you are weary, then we could fall before we even reach the Citadel. And with that, Vajvahan will attempt to manifest a stony, sort of camouflaged encasing around us, of course, with some air holes, so we don't, of course, suffocate. I don't want to entomb us. That's a 4-1.
Okay. All right. So a 12-foot sphere, or 12-foot cube is what it is, actually, 12 by 12. So
I think what I'd largely do is leave the roof exposed, but create walls around us essentially high enough that look kind of natural.
Mm-hmm.
So it would take a creature actually like having to stumble up and over to notice that we're there.
I mean, it could be enclosed. That's totally fine.
Oh, that is? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay. So basically what you're doing is you're making walls, a cube around you that is as thick a wall as you want, but it doesn't have to be solid.
Yeah, there's like little cracks in it and stuff so air can get in. And of course, like I don't envision it being an exact cube. I feel like it takes on a bit more of a natural. I'm intentionally trying to make it more natural, feeling like it's just a pile of rocks essentially, but it's hollowed out inside and we can rest inside.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I will maintain this, my friends. And I kind of begin to meditate at the center of it, just enforcing it and reinforcing it so my friends can rest.
But interesting that you say meditation, because there is a mundane ability within mystery to meditate.
Oh, trust me, I would love to have mystery, but I can't until I'm like max level.
But it's mundane, I believe.
Oh, does that mean I can do it?
Mm-hmm. You just wouldn't be able to use. Let's look that up real quick.
I forget that mundane is usable by anybody.
Yeah, I
You
forgot
just-
that too.
Can't apply primacy to it.
Meditation. Could I? So here's a question: could I meditate to stave off fatigue?
That's what I'm also thinking. Success invokes one support status effect or removes an impediment for the individual. Treat as a manifestation a high success. So you would have to roll for success.
Okay, and I can't adjust this. Ooh, here we go.
Come on.
That's a double 4.
Get
Woo!
high success invokes a second support, removes a second impediment or recovery as desired. Since that is a natural, you can recover and
Stave off fatigue.
stave off fatigue and give yourself the alert status or
Yeah.
a second recovery.
Yeah, actually, I will do the alert status. Actually, that helps us not get surprised, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give myself alert status and stave off the fatigue, and so I just go pure Zen mode as my friends rest.
Phenomenal. So with that highly successful meditation, you all are able to rest and recover your resources. I'm going to have to estimate Fellavaai's. But it's going to be something in the area of 12, I think, for primacy. Actually,
Kai, does that also mean that we get our primacy restore back?
you get your primacy restore back, and any of
Nice.
your items that you can only use once per phase also return to you, such as, well, you've been working on a tattoo. I don't think it's quite done yet, but for example, Vajvahan's spectacles.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I looking up? Oh, yeah. I just wanted to estimate a little bit closer. I actually should have gotten Rachel's stats, but that's going to be 7. Yeah, I think I estimated it fairly well. So, having rested, consuming some nutrition and water.
I eventually allow the rocks kind of receding back. Right, shifts back. My friends, you seem to be awake now. You sleep well. I did not sense anything. We are fortunate.
You are ready, Ambrose says. We should press on. Each phase that passes brings the conflict closer, and we may not be able to aid our allies.
Indeed, you are right. I will again try to rekindle the light on my staff.
Okay.
That's a 4-3. So I will use a primacy to get a 4-4 and make a really big light.
Okay.
Can I double the range?
We'll double the range, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and bright now.
Wow. Hot taste.
Uh,
Yeah, it's working.
yeah. When you do that, Fellavaai says, I feel the effect of this armor. It weakens me in the light.
Yes.
It's not of concern, but I could find difficulty in combat.
Yes, should combat come, perhaps, I should rethink the light if it's particularly difficult and you must use the armor.
I think I would shade myself. I will use my powers to counter the effects if necessary.
Fascinating. Is this the art of mystery?
It is the void. It is the power of the void.
Very, very fascinating.
It is interesting to me how it comes into conflict at times with other features of the garden. Though we're not in the garden, it is nonetheless an artifact of our realities, even in this distant place.
Yes, distant and not so distant.
Well stated.
And Vajvahan will take up his position again next to Zorik and slowly begin moving deeper into the tunnel system.
All right. You press on into the unknown depths of the tunnel. The citadel has never felt farther away. The comfort of the walls gives way to oppressive threat. Rocks clatter unseen in the depths. Kava. The ground shifts beneath your feet and gives way. Make a challenge roll body.
Challenge roll is 1 dice or 2 dice? I'm sorry.
Just one.
Just one. That's a 3. Can I use a primacy to make it a 4?
It's a body, so you may.
Oh, yay. Huzzah.
All right.
Oh, if it wasn't, then I wouldn't. Got it. Yay, 4.
Okay. A crevasse opens beneath you. However, you catch yourself on the edge. You are hanging on.
Oh.
As your allies rush to aid you, I need you to make a second challenge roll.
Ty.
Yes.
Would you say that I'm barely hanging on?
I would definitely say that.
Okay, cool. That's a 3.
Okay.
What did you say that roll was again? Was it a body as well?
It's body, but I'm going to allow you, with the aid of your allies, to keep you from slipping into the crevasse.
Yay.
The opening falls below 12 shins deep, or about 20 feet. However, you do not fall into the hole. But Embril says, I can't decide if we chose the better route, but we near the citadel.
I nearly just died. Are you sure this was a wise path, Embril? I'm nothing against you, it's just...
No. However, I haven't felt that there was a wise path since we left my home, and less wise still since we left Usut. But you are steadfast in your intention, and I am your guide.
Any path that we would have taken would have been treacherous, no doubt. We are so close now. I do believe we have an advantage by taking this route, Embril, and your instinct was true. Above, on the surface, we were much more likely to be spotted. Here,
Yes.
at least, we have the element of the darkness, and perhaps the element of surprise, should we encounter something. Although, Vajrahan, that light is blazing bright.
I could dim it if necessary, though we will certainly see any unfortunate critters coming should I maintain it. Although no critters, just the terrain itself is really our opposition.
Indeed. It's good for us to be able to see what lies above, below, and to the side. I agree. But it also means that other things could potentially see us as well.
Yes. You say the word if we feel we are better suited in the darkness. I have my means of seeing.
Fellavaai, I wonder if you might be able to provide some sort of shield, but with the power of the void, perhaps, or otherwise, to block the illumination of Vajvahan's light beyond a certain radius. Just as if a shroud was placed over a lantern. We can see what is immediate to us, but what is far beyond would be obscured indeed, but also those prying eyes, as it were, that might be searching would not see us coming.
It's not an effect of the void, but rather an effect of shadow that I could influence. But it seems counterintuitive to block the light that Vajrahan put so much effort into creating in the first place. Is this something you just wish me to do? Should we need it in a moment's notice?
Perhaps, or at the radius of the light, just so that the glow, though feeble as it might be at that long distance, might not give away our presence. We will still use the light as we do now to see where our footfalls take us.
Yes. I could darken the area ahead.
Thank
put
you.
a veil between us and anyone looking in our direction.
Indeed.
If it's... I can try. So, Vajrahan, are you keeping it at the same brilliance that you...
I'm more than happy if it's better to reduce it back down to sort of the 48 feet. I'm more than happy to reduce it so that she can better conceal us to outside eyes. Maybe perhaps we see how effective she is at placing the veil, and I adjust the light to it.
She hasn't placed a veil yet. She's interpreted it as if and when needed.
Okay.
Because you could dim the light without her also committing the resource, if that's the
Sure.
goal. So it's a party decision.
The space that we're in now, and the brightness of my light, does it illuminate really all the walls and ceiling, or so it's a small enough tunnel that we do? Perhaps we wait and see if the tunnel system opens up further into a more vast space. Then I can dwindle it, and Fellavaai can veil it.
Fellavaai says, just let me know what you wish me to do. And when.
Yes, I will do my best.
All right. So, pressing forward. For several thousand breaths, you journey on. Ambrose says, by my estimation, we should be nearing the base of the citadel. Perhaps another 500 breaths, and we shall see. Eventually, the tunnel opens into a small chamber. Water streams from the left-hand wall and trickles among the rocks before disappearing below. Let us take a breath for a moment, says Imbrel. But before you can do so, unseen tendrils strike from above. Let's take our break.
What?
Oh,
30.
Okay. Dark tendrils. Go to break. All right. We're going to do so. Thank you, Ty, for leaving us on a cliffhanger. And we'll see you all when we get back. Thanks for hanging out with us and spending your time with us tonight. We'll see you shortly.
All right, well, you know what you have to do. You need to choose your combat order. So tell me.
I'm at the rear, so I'll go last.
Oh, covering rear. Okay, I'm gonna make Fellavaai third then.
Okay. You want to go first, Vajvahan?
Yeah, why doesn't Vajvahan go first? See if we can't figure out what exactly this thing is.
All right. The first thing that happens is that there are multiple attacks against you all.
No!
Oh, great.
So we're gonna go. Oh, if you will please look at Owlbear Rodeo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, snap.
Make sure that
There it is.
you're roughly in position of where you want to be.
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
I will also say. Sorry.
I'm gonna be the way that.
The fun thing, if you are watching this either live or on VOD, you are getting sneak peeks at some creatures that are not in the core rules. So this is one that you may see in a future release. However, at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the targets that we are talking about right now are Embrel, Zorik, and Vajvahan. And I need to decide. Okay.
Real quick question. Do I still have the alert status? I'm not sure it helps in this case. I was just kind of curious if it sticks with me.
You would know. It's been several thousand breaths, and you would have had
Okay,
to
yep.
have maintained it the whole way. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
However, so Zorik, first of all, that is a 2-4. You are hit
Ow.
by sort of a bludgeoning pseudopod that punches you for 1 damage. I do not believe that causes you injury. However, it does wrap around you and you are wrestled.
It's got me!
And I believe
Is that an impediment?
it's a wrestle attack, so it's not, it is an impediment because
Hobbled?
you are immobilized.
Oh,
Shoot.
mobilized.
That's even worse.
As it has a hold of you.
That's like
however,
hobbled on steroids.
well, hobbled means that your attacks are reduced in or increased in difficulty, your physical attacks. This just means you can't run away at the moment.
Well, and
Also
attacks
decreased
against
difficulty
me.
scale.
Yeah, against
Oh,
me.
right.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. But what it does do as it grabs hold of you, because it is a wrestle attack, you do get to make a challenge roll body to try and avoid being grabbed.
One single die. Here we go. That's a 1.
Okay. Instead, you
Damn.
are, and I'm going to reveal it. This glistening dark creature, even with the brilliance of your light, it's about 9 feet up. Zorik, you are dragged into it, and you see Zorik get pulled into this gooey body form of this black amorphous creature. A wrestling creature.
As I'm sliding across the rocky ground, I've just got my sword out, like trying to hold my sword between me and this creature that I'm being, this weird sticky creature that's got me. Help me! Help me!
And then swoop, it pulls you into its form, and you see Zorik disappear into the body of it. It then, Vajvahan, we'll just go with you next. It hits you, Vajvahan. You may also make a challenge roll body to try to avoid. You take 1
So
injury.
good at these. That is a 3.
A 3. You also are sucked into this creature. The third one is Embrel. Embrel, it misses. Vajrahan and Zorik, you cannot see and you cannot breathe inside this creature. Yes.
No, I'll wait until my turn. That's fine.
Okay. Now we will go to combat order. And first
Now,
up is Vajrahan.
I still have my light, and I was maintaining my light. So I imagine one of mine is spent, right? If I don't continue maintaining it.
If you are maintaining it, you currently do not have one of your dice until this. No, that's not correct. You would your dice would come back to you. You would not have to keep maintaining it, so you would get your full dice cash because it's the start of your turn.
Gotcha. Upon being sucked into this dark, goopy creature, do I notice any sort of reaction to the light staff within its form as I'm kind of floating in this viscous, gelatinous whatever?
So first of all, I'll say when you get pulled into it, your staff is still sticking out and the lighted end is just glowing up in this thing. If you don't maintain it, by the way, it will fall to complete darkness in this cavern.
Okay. I will maintain it. I'll just go ahead and remove that point right now.
That is also one of your actions. Don't forget your action choices. Okay. You cannot see and you cannot breathe inside this thing. When you were attacked, there was no obvious reaction. You're not sure if it was drawn to your light or sensed you by other means, but I think that's what you're asking. There was no obvious indicator either way. And however, because you are now wrestled and smothered, you will need to do something about that circumstance or start to, well, then you'll actually
suffocate, right?
It is suffocating if you don't make your challenge roll body. So you do get a free challenge roll body to see if you can keep holding your breath.
Another 3. Okay. No. So is that one injury?
Not yet. It's the end of your turn. You have your action first.
Okay.
This is terrifying.
I am going to this might be more telekinetic. Could I use the element of wind to like wrap around and kind of pull my staff, like pulling me out of the gelatinous thing?
What you're trying to do is mobilize. You're trying to manifest the mobilize status effect on yourself. Yes, you an answer. Yes. So you're yeah.
And that would allow me to like pull myself out of this thing using wind. The element of wind, be like, pulled out.
Yeah, because your outcome would be mobilized, so it would allow you to attempt to.
Great. Okay, I will attempt to do that. That's a 3-2. I'll use primacy to make that a 4-2.
All right. So you whoosh yourself out. You can go up to 16 feet.
Oh, then I'll definitely take all 16 feet. Is that right? One, maybe diagonal doesn't count.
You want one?
One too many? There we go.
There you go.
And so I'll kind of come spurting out of this goopy thing, back over with the light, where I'll just sort of gasp, leaning on my stick and kind of pointing the light towards it, kind of speechless. And that's my turn.
Very well. All right, we go to the second round. It is the creature's turn.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yes.
Do I get to go?
You're second, right?
No, I'm last.
Oh, no, because we're only on the first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This was like a surprise round. I think it grabbed us, and now it's actually taking its
okay.
turn.
I was like, wait, what?
Yes, no, it got a surprise, and then we started the round, combat order, and Vajrahan just went. So it is. So the first thing that happens, Zorik, I'm sorry to say, your skin begins to burn. You take 5 injuries of acid damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. I felt that one.
Yeah. And let's see.
This music slaps, by the way. This is tabletop audio, y'all.
Yeah. And it is and it is going to strike again because it can. Oh. It's going to strike at it's going to strike at Embrel and Vajrahan. Yep, Vajrahan again.
Get back, you beast!
Boom. That is not a hit on Emerald. That's double twos. And that is a 2-3. At Vajvahan, it will bump that to a 4. It will hit you again for 1 injury. Your armor protects you from that. You must make a challenge roll body, please.
Oh, that's a 4.
Nice. Okay. You are not drawn into it this time.
Thank God.
I'm going to give it an armor factor for recovery on the first roll. And it is Zorik's turn.
I'm going to use a mind attack on this thing to try to disable it.
Okay.
I'll roll 2 dice.
What, are you trying to do a status attack or are you trying to do a damaging attack?
I want to do a damaging attack.
Okay. Trying to scramble its mind.
Yep. If it has a mind.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, that's a 2-2. I will take the recovery on that and gain I can gain injury scale back, right? Is it temporary and temporary IS or is it
not as temporary. You can't go above your max.
Okay.
You can only go
I'm
above
well
your max.
below my max, so that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a normal injury IS, I just gain 1 back.
You gain 1 back, correct.
Okay, got it. All right, that's what I'm going to do then. Shoot. Okay, well, it's not terrible. We'll just prolong the inevitable.
You still have second action option, I believe.
I'm going to I'm going to wait and see if I can use it maybe to help one of my companions.
Okay. You are still consumed inside this thing. Don't forget, you now need to make a challenge roll body to try and hold your breath to keep from suffocating.
Yeah. Could I use maybe I could use my my last dice in the pool to try to get out?
Yes, you could do that.
And is that a body?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nope. That's a 3. Okay. And now I'm going to make a challenge roll body to not
hold your
suffocate.
breath.
Yeah. And that's a 2. Uh-oh.
Okay. You suffer 1 injury as you start to suffocate.
Okie doke.
Yikes. All right.
Yeah.
That takes us to third, which is, I got to get Emerald in here. Can't forget Emerald. Come on now. So it's all me, Fellavaai. No, I'm sorry. 2, Zorik. Yep, Fellavaai and Emerald. So Emerald goes first. Emerald will blast it with fire. And Emerald. Yep. Oh my. Emerald just got double 4s.
Dang, way to go, Emerald.
Yeah. So we're going to give Emerald an armor factor. And Emerald's going to do 2 + 2, 4 injuries to this creature. Okay, now Fellavaai.
Could Fellavaai like open a void rift and like pull me out of this creature? Like just open its body up into a void portal of some kind? I guess that would open into the void actually.
Right.
I feel like I've seen her do things where she can like, it's like almost a teleport.
Or like planar.
Yeah.
She can open a planar doorway, but that's into another dimension, not into a creature.
That might be even worse.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen in other Nuovarden games.
What about teleport?
She has to be able to see the target.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be able to see when you manifest. You have to see your target. So it's a great idea. But I do like the idea of trying to pry into this thing because it does have that sort of gelatinous thing. So I think Fellavaai will attempt to manifest tendrils that reach into the form and try to pry it open. And we're going to use 2 dice on that because this is pretty important for Zorik. That's double 2s. So that didn't work. Would Fellavaai use the primacy and re-roll? I kind of feel like it, but it's very risky right here for Fellavaai to do that. I like it, though. I like risk. So we are going to go spend 2 primacy and re-roll one of the 2s. That's a 4. All right. So Fellavaai opens up enough into the creature, Zorik, for you to get a breath of air.
Okay.
Okay. So that means that, yes, it means that you can make your challenge roll body again if you're still stuck at the end of your next turn to re-hold your breath because you just took a breath. Or unless it's still held open. And then I think what Fellavaai will do with the 3rd die is attempt to pull you out with another tendril of shadow. That's a 2. Fellavaai is going to go for broke and spend another 2 to try again. That's a 4. Look out. Fellavaai pulls you, popping out. I missed my pop, but out of the creature and onto the ground. 8, 12 to there.
That
You
was
are gasping.
disgusting.
You are smoldering with this acid as it's still on your skin and burning. It hasn't damaged you yet, but it is residual.
Ow.
So, we'll worry about that next round. That is Fellavaai's turn. It is now Kava's turn.
At this point, I really don't want to touch it, seeing that my poor homies are getting burned by this damn thing. So we're just going to go straight sound attack on this from a distance.
Okay.
That's a 3 and a 1. I'm going to use a primacy to make that a 4.
All right. And you're trying to injure it, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
2.
2 damage. Okay. Very good. The surface, this undulating, gooey surface, puckers when you do that. And I will apply 2 injuries to it. I also want to say, Vajvahan, your light is very effective at illuminating this target. So you feel that if it weren't for that, it would be harder to see and harder to hit. But because it's so radiant, it is well outlined in this cavern, and it is clear for your allies to see it. It goes back to the top of the order, Vajvahan. Unless anyone wants to switch order, it is your turn.
Real quick question, because I did only spend 2 dice.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Dice because I'm at the last end of the round. Am I able to hold that into this next round, or does it go bye-bye?
No, it doesn't go bye-bye until your next turn starts. When your dice
and I would I'll just hold that last dice then. That's perfect.
You got it. You're muted.
Thank you. You said that there was water dripping down the sides of this cavern, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to manifest the water and douse Zorik to try and remove the acid. So giving him the hail support to remove illness. Would that work on this acid?
I think that is a great idea. Go ahead and give that a try.
That is double force.
Wow. What is that? You get automatic recovery because of a natural high success. What does that look like as you bring this wall of water over your ally?
Yeah, it's like all these little tendrils from all the trickling kind of swirl into a large, almost like a swirling beam of water, and just rinses, goes and sprays Zorik and kind of surrounds him for a second before just dropping Innate onto the ground, removing all the toxins.
Zorik, you are soaked, but you are no longer burning in acid. Cool.
And then Vajvahan, after doing that, will go ahead and kind of loop back around after being struck by this thing twice. Get behind Kava, who seems the best target to get behind.
All right. So yeah.
Careful, Zorik.
What that?
Thank you, Vajvahan.
What that does, hiding behind Kava, by the way, is gives you +2 armor factor if you are targeted.
Oh, awesome.
Because you can
Thank you,
use
Kava. And of course, I maintained my light with my other action, so I'm out.
Okay. You got it. It is now the creature's turn. It's going to nudge across the ceiling a little closer. And it is going to strike at... It's trying to get Zorik back. It's got to get its meal back.
Oh!
That is a high failure. That's a high failure. I'm going to use a primacy to bump it to a 2, so it avoids reprisal, but it does spend the resource. Where are you at? There you are. These creatures are called corded mallow. This is a black mallow.
Nice.
Then it's going to attack Emerald. That's a 4. Bam! Emerald gets hit. Emerald does not succeed on the wrestle and is pulled into the creature. All right, and then it attacks Kava with 2 dice. As this pseudopod goes flying across 4, 8, 12, bam, right into your space. That's a 3-1. I'll bump the 3 to a 4 and hit Kava. Kava, please make your challenge roll body. I will mark the primacy off.
That's a 3 because it's a body. Am I able to make it a 4?
With primacy, yes. You may spend the primacy to make it to a 4 and avoid. It does do 1 damage, but you have armor, so it is null. And it is Zorik's turn.
Sweet.
All right, so this thing's on the ceiling, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Not very high above. It's about
Are
9
there
feet
like
up.
stalactites and stalagmites in here? You talked a little bit about dripping water, and my guess is that there's some sharp pointy rocks.
There are some sharp, pointy rocks. They're more just rough surface because this is a tunnel recently made by Colossus. It's not an existing
Oh, sure. But there's some
cavern.
loose boulders around.
Yes,
Things that could be
absolutely.
hurled with the mind discipline at this thing.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use psychokinesis to grab. Oh shoot! They got Emerald. I didn't even see that. What was?
It just
what?
did.
Emerald. I'm gonna use psychokinesis to pull Emerald out of that thing.
You can't see him. He's completely
Can't
engulfed
see
in
him.
this thing. Yeah.
But I saw him go in.
Oh yeah. You saw this thing come shooting out, snap him up, and pull him in, just like it did to you.
And this thing is kind of a gelatinous, sort of jelly-like slug of some sort with
Sort of
tentacles.
gooey, yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh. All right, I'm
Mallow.
going to. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the hand drum out, and with the mallet, I'm going to start banging the drum and chanting. And what I want to do is I want to send sound waves into this creature's form and shake the jelly. I'm going to shake the jelly, and I want it to just discharge. That didn't come out right. I want it to release Emerald as a result of that. Kind of like basically like lose its grip on him because it's shaking. You know, like think of like Jello and just shaking that Jello. Just shake it up.
Okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to give it a challenge because that's
fair.
That's more of a status effect. You're trying to force it to.
That's fair. That's fair. Here we go. Come on, dice. Nope. That is a 2 and a 1.
I think we've got a held die from Kava if you want to assist.
I would love to. That's a 3.
So the total is a 1, 2, 3 on the roll.
Yep.
Okay, so that at least it bumps it to a standard 2-3 miss for Zorik.
Yes.
So there's no reprisal.
Okay.
No need to spend any
Sorry,
resources
Umbro.
on it. And yeah, so unfortunately that did not work, Zorik. That was your first action.
And then I'm going to. Even though I can't see him with this last die, would I be able to help him if he needs help on his body check, his body roll?
Technically, well, no, because by rule, in order to assist, you have to be able to see or hear your ally.
Shoot. Okay.
Great question, though.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm still gonna hold this gonna use a held die to just maybe help one of my companions. Yes, Pat.
Okay.
Thank you for the reminder.
TPK means total pat kill.
Mm-hmm.
Fellavaai tries to reach in as before to help Emerald. First, shooting the tendrils into open up the mallow. That is a 3-4. Fellavaai will spend the primacy to make that a 4-4 to give Emerald breathing room. And I'm going to say, because this is a high success, bump to a high success, Fellavaai will get a decreased difficulty on the third die tendril to pull Emerald out. That's a 3. That's enough. Fellavaai grabs with the shadowy tendril and pulls Emerald free from the mallow. 4, 8.
Way to go, Fellavaai.
Boom. And dragging Emerald across, sputtering across the cavern floor. It is Emerald's turn. Emerald stands up and, using a primacy, bursts into a flame column and shoots. No, Emerald does not have 3 dice yet. Not yet. But does have, I only used 1 die on that, so we'll shoot flame at, that's only a 2. Does not succeed, but Emerald's now standing, lit up. Do I have a, oh, you know what? We're going to put raging on him. That's fancy. And it is, technically that was Emerald's turn first, but that's what we'll give him. So that's it. So it is Kava's turn.
Trying something a little bit different this time. I would like to use sound on my blade. I would like to make my blade vibrate if possible. Kind of creating like a vibro blade to help like slice through the gelatinous body a little bit more easily.
I like it. So you how tall are you?
My character is about 6.
So the creature is up above on the ceiling.
Okay, fine. Pause. Relative similar imagery. However, I'm going to take the sound wave and slash it towards it. So the sound wave is going to go.
Oh, I like it. You're going to shoot the sound wave off the blade as like an arrow or a spear. Okay.
There we go.
There
we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 4 and a 1.
That'll hit. Please do damage.
That's a 1.
It still impacts, glancing off, it sort of skips across the surface, but you see it kind of rent into the surface, and then the surface kind of globs back together, but it does do some damage. All right. What else do you got, Kava?
I'm going to hold my 1 dice one more time.
Okay, you got it. Back to the top, Vajrahan.
Vajrahan, of course, will maintain his light. And then, how big is this? How much, like, it's clinging onto the roof. What surface area of the roof is being clung onto?
And in size?
Yeah.
It is a size factor 8, and it covers 8 feet.
Great.
Give or take, yeah. Or 6 inches, more or less.
I'm simply going to try and detach a 12 by 12 area from the roof, so he just falls.
Okay.
So by manipulating the rock. That is a 1-2.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. What were you saying about your dice abandoning you?
yeah, right? I will go ahead and use a 2 primacy to re-roll one of those.
Probably the 1, I imagine.
That's correct. I got a 2-3 instead, so that is unsuccessful, but no reprisal. So,
Any assists?
What kind of roll was it again?
a 2-3.
Oh, sorry. No, like I can assist on any roll. It doesn't matter what the original manifestation was.
You can assist on an action roll, which this was.
Oh, Roger. Assist. Oh, that's cocked. That's hella cocked. Hold on. Assist. That's a 3.
Okay.
That's double 3s.
That's recovery.
I will, for recovery, I'll just go ahead and gain. Well, let me look at the. I was going to ask you. Inhale. It says a discrete source of damage. What does that mean?
One
Exactly,
specific source.
Type. Okay. So you would be like, I could say like acid damage.
No, the source of the damage.
I see. Okay.
So if there were 2 or 3 or 4 targets in here, you could do it for one of them.
I see. I will give myself the dismissed.
Oh, okay.
Status.
As your recovery option?
Yeah. So I'm just a little less
Targeted.
interesting to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got it. Yeah.
And with that, I suppose that's my turn.
Okay. It is the creature's turn. Let's see and so it's going to slog over this way as far as it can move. And it's going after Zorik, and then since you are dismissed, it's going to target Kava and Fellavaai now. And yeah, I'm going to do it that way. All right, Zorik, you're up first. That is a hit. That's 1 injury. Your armor reflects it. You may please make a body challenge to avoid being wrestled.
That is a 4.
Oh, very nice. That's clutch because I think you're pretty beat up.
Yep.
Kava, that is a 1. I'm not going to spend primacy on that. If you'd like to roll a reprisal, please do so. It's 2 dice and just tell me what you get.
3 and come here, little dice. Where are you? A 1.
Okay, there's no reprisal effect. And then the creature targets Fellavaai. That is also a high failure. Fellavaai will roll a reprisal. That is a miss as well. So, miss. It is Zorik's turn.
All right, I'm going to take this sword that's still in my hand, and I'm going to try to cut this thing.
Again, it is up overhead.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Phooey.
want to see you
Well,
use that
then I'm going to
sword.
go back to my original. Yeah, no, I'm going to go back to my original idea, and I'm going to throw a rock at it.
Okay. So
I'm going to cast some stones.
if you get high success, you can lift and throw it as one.
Oh, that's right. I have to do that too. Oh my god. All right. A high success to do both of those things. You know what? That's just too many successes with bad rolls happening. I'm going to do a mind attack, a mental attack again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a better bet, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, when you get double 4s, I feel like that's pretty good.
That is a natural high success. You may take recovery. However, I'm not even going to roll for it to point out the fact that it does nothing to this creature.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take an IS point back as my recovery option. And
Okay.
I'm going to hold my other action to assist one of my companions.
All right. Embrel. Still shooting flame. We use both dice for Embrel. That is a natural high success, Embrel.
Woo!
That's 2 plus 2 is 4. And Emerald's going to empower with that for an additional 1 point for 5. 5 injuries as the flame sears into this thing, and it bits of it start to drip off and splatter on the cavern floor and smoke where they do. And very nice. And Emerald is done, so it's going to go to Fellavaai, who is going to try to... I think Fellavaai is just going to use Shadow to try to pierce it with a physical damaging attack. That's a 4-1. That will hit. Fellavaai does 4 injuries as the tendril of their own punches into the dark mass and, like hitting a puddle of viscous oil, penetrates the creature. 4 injuries. It is looking messed up now. Fellavaai, seeing that success, is going to use the 3rd die, and he's going to yank the tendril out to try and do more damage. But that is a 1. Caught up in the heat of the combat, Fellavaai will spend 2 primacy to re-roll. That is a 4. Fellavaai rips this thing into a spattering, gooey, dead form, and it falls onto the ground with a sickly, squelch.
Oh, gross.
And yes, there it lies. You all catch your breath. And Ambrose says, well, as I said, and his form returns to natural. It was one of the threats that I couldn't have named, but there you have it.
A natural threat, or you think a minion of the Overlord?
I think this was natural.
Vajrahan will go and prod around at the goopy acidic gelatin, and I'll go ahead and make a harvest check.
Please do. Meanwhile, Ambrose says, I have heard of these things. They are called mallows, and they are of different hues and with different effects.
That's a 2-1. I definitely...
Are there other form? I'm guessing it kind of like dropped into a puddle, almost like a gooey puddle.
Kind of like a jellyfish on a beach, except it's solid black.
Are there other things that were inside of it that might be visible?
Nothing visible, but do you want to do a harvest check yourself?
Yeah, what is that again? That's a lore, called roll lore?
Called roll lore, yep.
Okay, sure. No.
Okay. Yeah, you're poking at it with that sword, and it's just a sloppy, gooey thing.
Fascinating, Zorik. It did not seem to be affected by your mind powers.
Oh, really? I thought I did massive amounts of damage. I felt the manifesting energy surge through me. But perhaps you're right, Vajrahan. Perhaps some of these beasts here do not hunt us with premeditated motivation, but maybe just as instinct. We should be on the lookout for more of these creatures.
Fellavaai also does some prodding around and says, I can feel some sort of lump inside that seems separate from the overall body. And you see Fellavaai's got shadowy hands that are prodding in, just slight extensions of their own fingers, pressing into the thing, and says, Kava, come help me.
I'm going to go and assist.
If you would, please, just give me a single die roll on that.
Single? You got it. Pink. That is a 3. Would you like me to bump it to a 4?
Do you have lore? You don't have lore, do you?
Chicken nuggets. No, I don't.
Right. You'd have to have lore. However, I will say that is enough as but you kind of use the blade to slice into the flesh, and a small fleshy sac emerges through the black, and it's pale in color. And Fellavaai gently lifts it with those shadowy hands and sets it on the ground and says, I think I found the source of its acid. And
could it be useful to us?
I definitely think this is something we could barter or craft into something else.
But take care that it doesn't spill from this pale fleshy sack.
Yes, I wouldn't want it to spill from the fleshy sack. I will put it into a cloth sack, and Fellavaai squirrels it away.
I don't imagine it would be useful against a colossus, would it?
It's relatively small. I don't think it would be all that effective, maybe on some small scale.
Very well.
Hey, Umbrella, you said that we are nearing the tower, the citadel.
Yes, I dare say we are likely near. Let's press on in this tunnel. It must have had an entry point somewhere for Turu. Is that what that horrifying creature's name was?
Indeed, it was. I believe it wanted us to come this way, and so far we have not seen any branching corridors. Is that true? It's just been a straight shot, as it were.
Yes, given Vajrahan's light, I think we would have seen something if it had branched off. I believe this is entirely the right route we should be taking, which leads me to think we are in the right direction.
Perhaps we should check just momentarily to see if there's any sign of activity, tracks in the dirt or rocks being piled, that sort of thing, just to know if we're close to where there may be more of these creatures, these colossi.
Yes, please, someone make a call roll lore for that.
Ooh, that should be Vajvahan.
Definitely. Vajvahan starts glancing around the cavern walls and the, all that. That's double ones. So here it's coming, guys, you know. But I will keep the double ones and not fail.
Okay. You don't see anything.
I can't tell. It all looks quite the same. Hard to say.
This is a foreign world to me, not just the dimension we find ourselves in, but I have not spent this much time under the surface ever. It is a strange feeling to feel closed in with only one way forward and one way back. I don't like it, and I hope we do not have to spend a whole lot more time down here, especially if there are more of those creatures about. If I look at like my exposed skin, have I taken any sort of like permanent damage from the acid that I was?
No. And
okay.
Partly because Vajrahan was so effective in washing you clean.
Vajvahan, thank you for dousing me with the available water to clean me of that acid. It was very painful. I'm just wondering if you could maybe blow dry me with a bit of the air to dry me off. I'm soaked to the bone.
I suppose that is all right. I start whirling my finger about, and I'll try and create a gust of wind.
I'm just doing this.
That also fails. You don't feel anything. I'm just, that's a 1-2.
I mean,
I'm just swinging around my finger.
Do the wind thing, is what I'm asking.
I'm trying. You know, there isn't much air currents down here. It's a little bit hard to get it moving. Perhaps, Zorik, maybe happens. If you run fast enough. You can fly, can't you?
I could try.
Not a lot of headroom.
I think I'll save that for later.
Rajvahan, do you wish to change the high failure since it was a manifestation or risk reprisal?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use my last primacy and go ahead and bump that to a double 2s.
Okay.
And I will then give myself a armor factor.
Okay.
And then I will go ahead and use my primacy recover.
All right. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. Leaving the chamber, you continue into the darkness until at last you reach a dead end. Above, you see the entry point where Turu must have tunneled in.
At this point, is there light coming from the tunnel leading up into the citadel?
You can see, well, you can't see the citadel, but you can see the sky.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
I will go ahead and diminish my light to something about only, maybe just back down to the 32 feet of bright light, so it's not like beaming out of this hole.
Okay.
We should
It looks
send
like-
someone ahead, perhaps, to peek forth and see what we're up against.
Yes, perhaps Fellavaai can shroud herself in shadow and take a look.
Fellavaai says, I can do better than that. Or not. I will try again. Fellavaai puts their hand to their head and she says, I think we may be too close to the citadel. I think something's interfering with my abilities. And
Yes. It wasn't the lack of wind. Actually, Zorik, it was the same thing that Fellavaai said that I couldn't generate. I manifested the citadel, yes.
Kava, are you able to perhaps sneak ahead undetected somehow to view what lays ahead? I've seen you transform your shape into things that are quite powerful, but maybe something meek or
I have an
unnoticeable.
And so where you're at right now is there's the detritus from the initial tunneling effort has made a little bit of a ramp, but it does extend up about 8 shins or 12 feet or so to the surface. Or someone could, fly up or levitate up. Yeah, Fellavaai says, I could perhaps have levitated up. It's like they're just going over some things. Maybe that would have worked better. And they're sort of chiding themselves over in the
It's
dark.
okay. As you said, Fellavaai, the proximity to the Overlord could be having an impact on our ability to manifest the energies of the garden.
Well, then we must be close at least.
I believe we are much closer than we were at the break of our rest.
Oh, not that one.
Ambrose says, we have traveled quite a distance, so it would make sense to me that your colossal friends would have made it somewhat easy for us.
Do you anticipate that we are within the walls of the stronghold itself, Embryl, or do you think perhaps we are still beyond the walls, outside of the Overlord's palace?
Well, unless your friend or your friend's friend tunneled from within the citadel, meaning they may have been an inside figure, which means I wouldn't trust them any more than I already do, which I do not, then I would say not likely if they're truly friends or allies.
I am of the notion that they did intend to aid our quest based on what I could glean of their thoughts, Embryl. So as I know you and your people have come to conflict with the Colossi in the past, just know that there are those among them that still carry some level of honor and and will have a mind to reduce the impacts that this overlord has had upon this land and perhaps the land beyond in the garden where we come from.
Well, I have no choice but to trust what you say, and I've seen at least some neutrality among certain of those that you call your friends or allies. It may be, in my opinion, simply that they are achieving their own means and are using whatever, or their own ends, whatever means necessary to get there. But I'll reserve judgment beyond that and hope that they truly are allied. And
I understand your hesitancy, Embryl. It is well-founded in your history. But we have to hope that there's something of some good in these colossi. I hold that hope.
Well, I guess if good is defined by the Umbral and our willingness to aid outsiders, if that is reflected in your colossal friends as well, it's close enough of an estimate.
Vajvahan, in your experience and your instinct, is there a possibility that we are being led astray and perhaps being used as pawns in some greater scheme of the Colossi? I had not thought of this before until Embryl just voiced their doubt at the loyalties of those who have aided us.
I suppose it could always be that way. I mean, we have seen people go astray for less, but Lutu led you here, led you against the Colossi who wanted to invade our realm. I would imagine he does not wish the same sort of thing, and I imagine his allies not. But to what sort of rule would be established here in Umult? I don't know.
Kava, you have spent time with Lutu as much as any of us. What is your read on their motives? Do you think they would betray us?
They haven't up until now, so I give them no reason to. But doesn't mean that we shouldn't be wary. This could be a trap or an ambush regardless, whether or not they're involved.
It seems to me a rather risky gamble. A ragtag group from another dimension of sorts. That the giant colossi of a different faction would put a great deal of faith in us, only to turn against us. I'm not so certain. And either way, I doubt the current ruler or the woman that Fellavaai seems to know would be better than Lutu and his allies.
There's one thing that I know, is that Isha shall pay for their treachery.
Perhaps we simply climb up these rocks and all of us together take a peek. Maybe not the best way, but together, at least, if something befalls us, we can defend each other.
Well, then shall we continue on to the surface?
Indeed.
Above board, Seer, I will diminish my light as we get closer and closer to the surface until it's fully extinguished.
Okay. It doesn't take much to scramble up above the ground level to get your heads above to peer out back on the surface of Umult. As you do, you find yourself about 250 breaths from the perimeter of the external walls of the citadel. So, say a quarter mile. You're not there yet. You also think in the distance from the face of what must be the front of the citadel at a great distance, perhaps the gathering of Lutu and Turu and other allies preparing for some assault against the Citadel. At the same time as you're gazing about, large, colossal figures stomp between you and the walls, heading to the front as if to form some sort of a perimeter or vanguard as well. There are numerous of them wandering about on the surface.
Mm. What is the Citadel wall made of? Is it stone? Is it of the elements?
It's hard to tell if it's natural or if it's some ore, because it's very smooth and dark. The coloration, maybe it almost reminds you of the plum sky of twilight in Nuovarden, but it's heavy and dense, thick like the creature that you just dispatched in the cavern some time prior, but not the same color, not the same substance. And it has that slight shimmering glow to it as well still.
And do we see, so there's these large colossi marching across. Are they coming from the Citadel? Is there some doorway that they're marching through? No, they're just already outside in front.
They're already outside, yes. And they're moving to and fro. So it's like they're marching around in the perimeter of the Citadel. And some move forward, they interact. There's a lot of activity up here.
Sounds of battle, or just colossi moving about?
No sounds of battle yet.
Okay. Well, at least we know that we haven't missed our cue, so to speak. Kava, Vajvahan, how do you propose we bypass the walls of this place? Are you able to manipulate to provide us with passage through it? Must we go over?
So if I transform into a Course Cassant, it's a size factor 4. I'm not sure that's big enough to get us up there. So would I have to go like full Fate Worm?
Yeah, but you'd also be very exposed.
I mean, but I'd be a Fate Worm.
I mean, we do have the ability to, like, I could fly, you could Fate Worm, so we have that option, but it might expose us too much. I'm wondering if I was kind of curious if Vajvahan could maybe use element to open a hole in the surface, but it might not be doable given its nature. What it's.
Can I identify from this distance? Can I use lore identify upon the stone surface of this tower to get a sense of its principle?
You can try. You can try. That would be at increased difficulty, though.
Okay. It's a 1-3, so even if I bump that would not work.
Yeah, it's not a familiar.
It is very hard to say, Sorik. This material may be manipulative, but it seems to me in a world of great elements and creatures who control those elements, it would be an oversight to make your grand structure out of something so easily manipulated.
Emerald says, Amush said that the Citadel sits in the ground like a tooth.
Are you suggesting perhaps that there's a cavity that we could enter through?
Or some sort of root or chamber system? Though I don't know how we would find it.
I'm assuming that these walls are Colossus-sized walls. Like, they're huge, yeah?
Yeah, this is like a grand arena. A great stadium. It's like a giant. It looks like a big kind of bluish helmet, but it's not. Doesn't have a face mask or anything like that. It's just an unnatural structure compared to the rest
Okay.
of the.
I'm going to go ahead and make a survival check of this landscape to see if I could denote any sort of landscape that would give away at a sort of underground or an access point underground.
Okay, can you flavor for me a little bit more? How would you identify that?
Perhaps in the landscape where things dip down or where different forms of rock are protruding up that seem out of place for a surface level environment, maybe less sun well, I guess there isn't sun, less salmon sky exposed rock, or and then I suppose the other thing would just be like perhaps possible mounds or areas that look like ravines going downwards. Within the surface,
Sort of the
especially
natural
near the
state.
base. Yeah. That's a 4-3. I will go ahead and primacy to that at double 4.
Okay. So as you interpret the landscape, looking across the surface, this whole time Umult has been a series of craggy to glassy surfaces, great open expanses, crisscrossed with ridges and valleys and things like that. This is a relatively flat area, and the citadel seems to fit snugly into the ground. More than just sitting on top of the surface. As if it's literally, it grew out of the ground almost.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, Zorik. Perhaps if we get close to its base, I may be able to manipulate the earth. If not a sort of natural crevasse to go down, I might be able to manipulate our way down through the earth and get around its external structure. Perhaps like a tooth, there are veins that reach back up into it.
I mean, anything's worth a try at this point, as long as it doesn't expose our position.
I think it will be very difficult to get to its base until Lutu and his other colossi engage and draw. The large amount of colossi between us and the citadel. Otherwise, we can try stealthily moving, but this is a lot of colossi marching to and fro.
Mm. What do you think, Kava? What should we do here?
I think that we need to be as quiet as possible. As much as I want to change into a large dragon or bait worm once more, we'd probably try to do this as sneakily as possible. So, I mean, I could use body to try and climb the wall. Buff my muscles, and then if everybody else can lift themselves up.
But we're still about a quarter of a mile from the actual citadel, though, right?
So we have to get
and
to
there's
the
a whole
wall
bunch of
from
colossi between us.
here. Yeah.
In short, the surface doesn't look like the greatest approach.
Mm-hmm. So we either fly or we burrow.
But you also have flying elementals above.
And there's also flying elementals above, which suggests that might be super dangerous.
Was there other passageways, or this just naturally came up, right? There didn't seem to be other passageways down below.
Right. It seems to end, suggesting perhaps that you would have to finish burrowing your way.
I could attempt to manipulate the earth down below, and we move in that direction.
Is it like
Though-
stone? Sorry, go ahead, Vajrahan. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Though it may take quite a bit of time.
Is there a creature that can dig?
I was just looking too. I was trying to figure that out.
I'm struggling to find one, and I just don't know if I'm reading this correctly.
The Larkler has a burrow speed.
The Larkler.
Oh, the Larkler.
What page is that on? Do you already have it up?
162.
162.
Yeah, it should be alphabetical too.
Burrowing. They're like a burrowing lizard kind of thing. Would that be correct, Ty?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
They're cool.
All right, so before warning, if my power goes out, it's because there's a huge storm going on right now, and I literally just heard somebody's potted plant take a dive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, poor plant. But no, that's perfect. That's actually what I must have skipped over it, but I was like, there's no animal that can climb and shit. No, never mind. That's exactly what I wanted. The Larkler. So these are pretty common too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
I
would've
would say
used-
I would say you've seen Kava's seen the Larkler.
Okay, then apologies for the wait. I just can't read books very well. I would love to change into that creature to try and burrow further for everybody.
Okay.
I was looking at the coarse croissant. I was looking at the faded worm. I was looking at everything. I'm like, none of it makes sense.
You're looking at the big scaries, not at the little cuties.
It was
the
the
little
movement.
cuties.
Yeah, the movement bit is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not great. I'm going to use a. It's how many primacy to reroll a dice again? 2?
2 to reroll 1. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 to reroll 1. Oh, thank God, that's a 4.
Okay.
Oh my
Nice.
God! I was like, this doesn't work. We're fucked.
Now don't forget you'll have to maintain it to keep the form. Go ahead, Zork, sorry.
And I think I will do the camouflage, the subterfuge thing that I've been doing repeatedly throughout this this journey to try to keep us concealed somewhat.
Okay.
Because even a Larkler, they may not know what that is, and it may raise eyebrow. That begs the
Stone
question: stone brows? Do colossi have eyebrows? Let's
They have
put a pin in that, and we'll talk about that later. But here we go. I'm going to try to do that same thing that I was doing before. That's a 3 and a 1. I'm going to go ahead and bump that to a 4 and a 1 to give us some level of protection. So okay.
And Vajrahan, you have element?
I do.
So you can also help move Earth.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and make a move Earth check.
Maintain that.
That's a 1-2. I'll go ahead and bump that to 2-2 and gain back that primacy I spent.
Okay.
And then
All right.
Fellavaai has
You're doing great, Kava.
mystery and shadow. Is that correct?
Yes, mystery and
Discipline.
silence.
Mystery and silence.
Perhaps a silence, some sort of way to conceal the sound of the digging might be a good
Yes.
thing. So let's have her do that.
Fellavaai can hush your advance. Or not. We'll spend the primacy to reroll since they still have. That's a 3, but can't bump it. So Fellavaai can do one other die. Nope. They're just
It's okay. It's okay.
It's the Citadel, I'm sure.
Yes, it must be.
So meanwhile, Vajrahan, you didn't succeed either. So
I did not.
kind of like
I'm
relying on
shuffling behind Kava. Yeah.
Trying so hard right now.
Yeah. It slows things down a bit. Takes you longer than you really wish it would, but you made it this far. You press on, and at one point, Kava breaks into a crevasse that moves toward the surface in an ever-widening reach. The narrow passages lead upward but gradually widen, allowing for cramped but increasingly easier movement. At last you find yourselves pressed up against a stone ceiling, presumably the floor of the Citadel itself.
Stone, you say?
Yes. A flat ceiling of stone. And Kava, you're first to reach it.
take on like I'm a tiny lizard. Never mind. I'm gonna use my tiny lizard body to scout.
Well, you're just at a stone ceiling.
Oh.
So you just butted up against.
Zorik is gonna give
stay in this
the
form.
lizard Skava scritches.
Okay. And the rest of you, everyone's down the line. What's going on, Emerald? Kava says, Can you move it or dig past it?
Perhaps Vajvahan can affect the stone.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry, Kava was a bit in the way. Is that
sorry.
a floor, Zorik?
It looks to be a floor to those above and a ceiling to those below.
Oh, that is wise, Zorik. Remind me to give you one of my beads.
And I will attempt to, what I want to attempt to do, well, first I'll attempt to kind of see if I can manipulate this stone flooring.
In what way?
I would like to simply just cut a line through the floor. And can I form, I don't know how precise I can be. Can I form like stone hinges on one side to make essentially a stone door? It swings open.
So you can only affect the side you can see.
Yep.
So
I guess, I don't know how thick it is, huh?
You don't. No, there hasn't been much exploration of it. So far, as far as you know, it
Maybe
could
just-
be anything from 4 feet to 40 feet.
Poke a hole into it?
It's
Yeah,
definitely solid.
I will go ahead and just form a small like peephole up to, 12 feet?
You can try to go as far as that if you want. Yeah.
And hopefully I don't hit Stone Colossus, because that would be very uncomfortable.
Right into the Overlord's throne.
in there. But that's a 1-3. I'll go ahead and bump that to a 4-1.
Okay. So you begin to open a hole in this stone. You get in about a shin of thickness before a light shines through. And you peer in and you can see that this is a lighted environment. It looks to be internal and rough-hewn, but formed, like intentionally designed. Like a hallway with a tall ceiling.
Having manifested, can I maintain that and manipulate the size of the hole?
Sure. Open a hole big enough to get through. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And perhaps close it afterwards if we want somebody to just kind of poke up and scout. And make sure, like, somebody to go up stealthy, like a new form of Kava, like a little mousy creature, snaky creature or something.
Yeah. So, peeking up through the floor, your eyes fall upon a broad hallway. Large granite tiles cover the floor, and walls of polished black onyx set with pulsing stones of yellow light illuminate the passageway. The ceiling rises 40 shins to faintly lit windows that glow with the dim salmon light of the Umult sky. The passage runs left and right. To the left, it extends much farther than it does to the right, where in just a few shins distance, it passes through an archway, where again, it forks left and right.
But the coast is otherwise clear. There doesn't seem to be anything in these halls.
Mm-hmm. It seems very quiet.
I assume Kava's the one poking out her head, because she was the first in line, right? Her little lizard head popped up to take a look around. Prairie dog out of the hole.
Well, here's the funny thing, Kava. Larkler are visually bereft.
Oh, it's a blind creature.
Oh, it's
Not
just
so
extreme
useful.
sensitivity to vibrations. Okay. Wait, do I feel any vibrations within 32 feet of us, though?
Good question. You do not.
Oh, okay. And I pop back in, they're like,
Then perhaps
Scratches.
let us move up quietly now. And
I guess Vajvahan will kind of pat at the rump of Kava to move on up as he slowly also expands the hole large enough for us all to like kind of a portal side, a one-man portal size to kind of pull ourselves out of.
Okay. One by one, you appear in this immense hallway. And once through, did you say you wanted to close it up again?
I do, but actually I want to close it up extremely thin. And when I close it up, I actually leave like a small etching, like an X or something etched into the tile floor, so that if we need to make a grand getaway and there's no other option, we can just stomp on the tile or something and it collapsed down.
Okay. All right. Very cool. You do that. Which direction do you all wish to go? Long way down the left or short way to the T to the right?
With the discipline of song, can I somehow expand my consciousness to sort of, I want to be able to like extend my ability to hear things. I mean, yeah, an echolocate is sort of like that, but it's more, I want to use the auditory element to hear things more effectively or at a greater distance. I'm not sure how that would work, but it's maybe opening the sensitivity to the sound waves themselves.
Okay. So using sound to hear sound.
Yeah. With the mastery of that particular discipline, perhaps being able to hear voices at a greater distance.
So here's your limitations to work with.
Okay.
You have to be able to see the area you want to affect.
Okay.
You can reach an area up to 120 feet from you, and you can hear in an area 12 to 24 feet square, depending on the success of your manifestation. So
Okay.
the question then becomes, do you want to go toward one of the hallway ends and then project?
Yeah.
Because what you can see right now, there's no visible figures.
Yeah. So I'll just start creeping down to one of the hallway ends, and then I'm going to sort of like, I have to be able to see, so I have to look a little bit, and I'm going to try to hear down whatever the next corridor or whatever I guess, what do we see when I do that, first of all?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I lost my place. I went too far. Scuttling across the wide floor like trespassing bugs, you move furtively through the Citadel halls. As you move toward the long open hallway, you bypass great stone doors with gaps wide enough at the bottom to slip beneath, though the lightness interiors of most dissuade further exploration. None of them seem large enough for a grand hall of any sort. And then as you look, so you're now looking down a long hallway that's lined by doors that appear to be, at least the ones nearby, dark inside the rooms. And this is where you may want to...
Yeah, I'll try to do the listen thing. Sort of enhanced listening.
Down to at the end of the hallway then, from where you're at? Okay.
Yep.
Is it within 32 feet?
I don't know. How far down do you want to go, Zorik?
How far is the hallway, did you say?
This hallway is probably like 40 shins, so 60 feet.
I'll go 32 feet.
Okay.
First. I'll do a 32-foot listen.
I just looked too, Kava. You don't get special abilities in Creature Morph.
Shoot. But
Fine.
But all of Kava's abilities are special. We will.
Yes, they are special.
Establish that right now. All right, I'm gonna try to listen. I don't know. Oh no! I don't hear anything. That's a 2-1.
Well, do you want to do something about that to avoid reprisal, or do you want to take the chance?
Primacy bump to 2-2, recover primacy?
Oh, yeah, right. Good point. I'll do that.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to recover the primacy. I'm going to recover an IS. Because
you could do that. You could also do the alert in here anyway.
Yes, let's do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. You soon hear the heavy footfalls of what is no doubt an approaching colossus. At the end of the hall, the passageway veers left, and soon you expect to see a figure appear. Just to the right, one doorway emits a faint flickering light from beneath the space at the bottom of the door. Perhaps that chamber, at least, isn't a dark unknown.
I will communicate this knowledge to my companions.
And now
What
you
do
can
we
all
do?
hear and feel something is approaching from that end of the hallway.
We must prepare ourselves or hide.
I think we brave the unknown within the room. If there's something there, then we can fight it. At least there's a doorway to block the sound. But here in this hallway, it could simply turn and go alert the others.
Agreed.
Okay.
Into the darkness.
Do you go to the... You can see some light coming from a nearby room. Do you want to do that one? Or are you going into the dark?
Yeah, we're going to scuffle in there, yeah.
Okay. All right. As you scuttle in there, inside the room, you see a massive stone bench and numerous stone vessels of the sort a crafter might use. A dull flame burns beneath the bowl of a blackened stone container, and a single elemental stone glows with dimly bright light, casting shadows throughout the room. A hunched, stony gray figure works at the bench with its back turned to you, and about its shoulder and over its head is a sagging net-like cowl. The creature hums to itself in a bit of high-pitched guttural voice. And as you scuttle in, it turns and looks at you and says, "Oh, my. What do we have here? Strange interlopers. I am Crackfost, and I am pleased to meet you." And this is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh,
And
we don't know if this is friend or foe.
And you get to, I'm going to evolve you one session early.
Oh,
Yes.
There we go. Now we're talking. Did you say their name was Crackfost?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
That's amazing.
I just wrote it down. That is now just a quick question. Do they look like a colossus?
Yes.
Okay,
but
they are a colossus.
Yeah, they are. Then they're not like the biggest that you've seen.
Okay.
And they're hunched. And so they have a little bit different demeanor than you've seen out on the open plains of Umult, both from Lutu and from the ones you have had to battle.
And they were chanting over an open flame?
They were murmuring sort of to
okay.
themselves. Yeah, as if like, but their back was turned to you. Couldn't quite see what they were doing.
Okay. Okay, got it. I'm just making some notes for next time. All right, great. So we are evolving.
Yes, this is a big one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. You get to increase your injury scale by 2 and your primacy by 1.
Okie doke.
You get your +2 points to apply as you wish. And you get to choose a third discipline.
Oh. All right. Well, I have a question, and Zorik would probably have some strong intuition, but Dave's a little wishy-washy. He's been getting these visions of Bella Cesuria's great-grandfather. His great-grandfather said to what did he say? I had it written down somewhere about the void. Look into the void. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
yeah, I know I have it.
Harness the void or something.
Right.
Is that a suggestion that I should probably go for the void discipline? I've kind of been following Bella Cesuria's advice up until this point, so I'm feeling like maybe I should continue to do so.
Bella Cesuri does seem to be directing you because your grandfather seems to be telling you how to cross over to where your ancestors are. And that is the...
Okay, so I'm going to go
That's
with void.
mystery, yeah?
Yeah.
Mystery? Yeah, mystery. Thank you.
I will need to do some thinking. I have some ideas, but I'm kind of torn.
All right. Well, when we come back, you can surprise the audience with what you chose.
Ooh.
Kava,
Sweet.
do you know what you're going for another
I'm
mastery? No.
conflicted as well. I'm so
Okay.
conflicted.
So
awesome.
this is something of a bridge episode because we did lose one last week. So this is a bit of a bridge episode between the end of Arc 2, leaning into Arc 3, but we are not done yet with Arc 2. And we will have a break again next week, and then we will pick up with this one on the 4th as we find out who this Krakfost is and what is going to happen inside the Citadel.
Oh my gosh. Fantastic.
Is the party going to be forged into a pair of armor for their colossi?
Oh my God. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. All right. Well, Ty, thank you so much again for bringing this to life here and sharing it with the community. This is absolutely a fantastic campaign, but the game itself is absolutely amazing. Guys, Nuovarden is now available in hard copy, soft cover, and digitally PDFs. And I'll put a link in the chat. You can grab it over at DriveThruRPG. And I'm kind of taking your shtick here, but you can also go over to adventureslang.com and find out all of the stuff that's going on. Ty, why don't you tell us some of the things you have going on? I know you were telling us a lot of good stuff here at the beginning, but tell us anything you'd like to about what's happening over at Adventure Slang.
Yeah, thank you. AdventureSlang.com has the podcasts, the Adventure Slang Pod, where we talk to all kinds of cool people doing cool stuff in the tabletop gaming shtick and beyond or adjacent. And there's also the Chronicles of Nephis, which is a dramatic solo play set in Nuovarden, both of which are due for new episodes as soon as I can get them. Summer has been really busy, and some things you just don't have time to get to, but I will be getting to those soon. Also, the links to buy the game, or you can go straight to DriveThruRPG. You can get downloadable stuff for Nuovarden for your game, a form-fillable character sheet, form-fillable combat tracker, and the free Umbral build as discovered in Umalt. The people of Umalt is there as well. A full build for that culture. Besides that, there's the mailing list to sign up for. There is actually a swag store, so you can buy your adventure log, you can buy your stickers, you can buy your shirt or your mugs, and if there's something that's not there that you would like to see, let me know, and we'll get it in there. Beyond that, a few more weeks of summer here, summer events for me, and then it'll be gearing up for more Nuovarden media stuff. I've got some interviews that I've been invited to conduct or to be participant in coming up. Also, our friends over, Dave, if you don't mind me plugging another channel, our friends over at
absolutely
Fresh Out the Box, or Jahananon, I believe, are starting session 0 of Nuovarden tonight with Jahan, Navisi, Gary, Keon, and Ty Thalanos. They're going to be doing a run through as well. And rumor has it some other folks will in addition. So it's starting to pop up here, there, and everywhere. So thanks very much. I think that's enough for now. You can hear more about it if you're on the mailing list, or if you join the Discord, or you just message me directly. I'm also at Guild Superior a lot on the Discord there. So as well as the Adventure Sling. So thank you.
Thank you, Ty, very much. Let's toss it over to Kayla.
Hey, I caught it. Hi, I'm Kayla. You can also find me over at Kayla Janelle. In fact, we're going to be streaming tomorrow. We're going to be going over some Nuovarden stuff because I need to be as knowledgeable as the other people in this beautiful party. I'm kind of like the dummy when it comes to history. I just rely on these lovely people for lore and things like that. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I love it. And so, with that being said, stay tuned because I will also be running a little thing for Nuovarden as well. In fact, it'll have Dave and Ty in it and some other fantastic people. So yeah, can't wait.
Thank you so much for the invite, and it's awesome to have a crew that's supporting our friend Ty, doing all this cool stuff with this world and in this creation of his. So that's awesome. The squad has assembled to support our buddy. Hell yeah! Let's toss it next over to our good friend Penborough.
Hey everybody, Penborough or Paul Angelo online, or Paul, or whatever you want to call me. I'm good with it. I love playing with Guild Superior. Super excited for GuildCon. Author or co-author of a up and coming cyberpunk heist-like TTRPG known as House of Eidolons. More to come on that. We'll be kickstarting in early next year. So a lot more to come on that, and we'll also be doing a game on Guild Superior coming up soon. More details on that. Very excited for that. Love playing this game. This has been so much fun. Just playing with the people and just exploring Nuovarden's world. And I absolutely love the dice system. It's really clever. And so it's been a lot of fun manifesting and just like having so much freedom to explore and manipulate this world is really, really unique. I like it a lot. That's me.
Awesome, Paul. Thank you so much. And Eidolons is a fantastic game as well. I'm very excited to dive back into that when we get to it here in the not too distant future. So stay tuned. You guys know me. I'm Dave. I get the honor of bringing people together here and just seeing what happens, because it's usually something really beautiful and fun. So thanks to everybody that you see here on the screen. Thanks to Rachel, who has been a big part of this Nuovarden campaign. Thanks to Tim, barely hanging on, who's been a big part of this, as well as Alan Henry. There's more to come. As Ty said, we'll be taking the week off next week for everything. We're taking a breather next week. And mostly so we can prep for all the stuff that's coming in the following weeks, to be honest with you. But yeah, we've got Tuesday nights in September. Candace the Magnificent will be running a Monster Hunters game, Monster Hunters Club game, which is going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait. And then Jose Ortiz is going to be running a really creepy Halloween folklorian Greyhawk game in October, and there's going to be some Alien RPG coming on Saturdays in October as well. So lots going on, and then you sprinkle in some additional Nuovarden, some House of Eidolons. Holy cow, we're going to be busy. So strap in, because it's going to get crazy. And in the meantime, thank you all for being part of this and hanging out with us and supporting the channel. If you're not following, please consider following us. And if you are following us, thank you. We appreciate you very much, and we'll see you next week. Nope, we're taking next week off. We'll see you the following week. I know what's going on around here, right? Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Do some good out there in the world over the next couple weeks, and we'll talk about it next time. Bye.
Or some bad. I'm just kidding.
Be bad. Bye, everybody.
Bye.